Okay, I'm back. Now we're going to go back to our sample document, cleverly named sample document. And now we want to put it into a paperback, and that requires going to a PDF. Now I know, taking a look here, get rid of that, okay? Because this is right-hand side, this is left-hand side, right-hand side, left-hand side. Okay, well, obviously, I want this to be on the right-hand side. And as I mentioned yesterday, so I can see what I'm doing. Okay. I call those reveal codes. I don't think that's what they call them in Word. That's what they used to call them in WordPerfect. So that's why I call them that. Now what I want to do is I really don't want to put a header on these pages. I could, but if I put a table of contents in, I might, but the lazy way is simply keeping the header clear. And the way which we discussed yesterday is to keep the header clear is to make a page the first page of a section, because you've already told it not to put a header on the first page of a section. So the easiest thing to do is just to say next page. Again, if you put a page break here, which is the natural thing to do, you end up getting it's not the first page of the section, it's just the page after a page break of the prior section, so it gets a header. And so you can go either way on this. In this context, I'm doing this, okay? So now let me get rid of this. Now let's take a look at it. So, okay, so forget that, that's first, okay, so left, right, left, right, left, right, left. Okay, nice, clear, my book begins here, has a clear page on this side, okay. So let me save that. Now, what I need to do is convert this to a PDF. So file, save. There's several ways to save as a PDF. The simplest is this. Other circumstances, if there's a problem, you may have to do it, print to a PDF or save a copy to the PDF. Let's hope this works. Okay, so save as a PDF. It tells me where to go. I'm going to put it where this one is. I'm going to call it sample PDF. Boom. So now it's converting. It's converting that document to a PDF. And then we'll see what we have to do next. Now I have a licensed Adobe PDF, and I can do certain things. I don't know other people have that license. What can I tell you? So the things I do, people may not be able to do so easily. That's all I can tell you. Okay, I'm going to share the screen again. Hope this works. Sample PDF. This is my PDF, and here's where it gets a little tricky when you're moving something Manuscript, because PDF puts in pages, okay? You hit organize pages, okay? Now you can see, in this case, it did not, okay? Often it puts in extra pages, and when you have to, it puts in extra blank pages, and what you have to do is simply delete those blank pages, which is in theory this, and then this, delete it, okay? Now, I'm gonna put it on, put it on hold for a second, because I'm going to grab something and then show you what I do with the first page. I don't worry so much about what it looks like now, because I'm going to change it. So I'm going to put it on pause. I'll be right back. Okay, well, what I did while I was waiting, I pulled up something on Canva. So let me go there and show you what I did. Okay, it's here. Okay, earlier, now this is a print font that I do not have. It is a tangerine print font that I do not have in Word, but it's on the cover of the book. You'll see that in a minute. So what I do on Canva is I did a piece of paper. This is the right size. No, 6x9, copy and resize. Let's hope this works. Okay, let's hope that works. Yes, 6x9. So what I want to do is save this as a PDF, and you'll see what I'm doing in a second. Download. myself around here. To PDF print, download. And it's downloaded it to downloads. Okay, so I'm going to stop the share. And let me go back to the document. Okay, get that set up. Share. Remember, this is the PDF I had. Okay. And you can see that, you know, the pages are okay. They're fine. And again, if there's a problem, come back, redo it and fix it. Okay, now here's what I want to do. What I did is I created that front page. So what I want to do is insert that from file, and the easiest place for it would be is I put that in downloads, cover sheet, before the first page. Then I delete this particular one. If I, you know, this is a little bigger than I'd like probably, and I'd want to edit it down. That's something you can do in Canva. And I'll show you that in a later episode, but let's accept it for now. Let's save this one, okay? Let's make sure we know where it's saved. Save as, it is in Roisin. Good, okay, so let me stop that share. Now, let's go back to here, and then go back to here. Oh, sorry. The screen's obscured for me here, so I can't see some of the things I'm working with here. There it is, I got it. Okay. Pausing it again for a second to get my act together. Again, I apologize. That's what happens is as you're recording, you can get stuff blocking your up the top part of your screen. So I couldn't get what I wanted to get, but let me pull that up now. And what I wanted to get, you'll see, is where we were with Kindle. Now I've already uploaded the cover. Now you see this is a different cover than the other one. And the reason for that is when I first did the Roisin book, it's 8.5 by 5.5 by 8.5. And we're working now with 6x9, which I've come to prefer. So this happens to be this is a paperback cover for a 6x9 book, paperback. So upload the manuscript. Remember, we saved it in Roisin stories. Roisin should be the first thing. It's called sample. Uploading the sample. Save successful, launch format, launch previewer. And now I'm again going to pause this as I wait for the previewer to show me what it's going to look like. Okay, we are back. Didn't take that long. I've learned that if you're waiting for a preview in from KDP, sometimes if you're doing something else, it takes long. So I just let it sit there. Now, this is the cover. See, this is for a work in progress, and you can see I will go back and modify this. But this is a work in progress for the number of pages in the book. Again, this is a 6x9. That's what I did this way. You will see here an error. Red error means you got to fix something, and it's on page 1. This is not page 1. This is the cover. Nope. Somehow hold on a second, I'm going to pause you again. What the hell? Okay, I'm back. There may have been a gap there, and I apologize. I thought I paused it. Somehow the browser shut down. I don't know how much this is. I caught, but if I repeat myself, I apologize. This is the cover. This is the print preview for paperback. Okay, you see there's an error here. It's on page 1. This is not a page number. This is the cover. Page 1 is this page. And remember, I mentioned that this looked a little big to me, and it does, and that you would want to modify that to make it smaller. And what KDP is telling you is this will not be accepted because it's too broad. And it's too broad. It looks too broad. I don't like it. We would replace this. Okay. Anyways, but that's part of the process here of looking at what you have and cleaning it up. So that's that. Okay. Boom. Okay. You know, again, you can modify this in Word, converts into Word into the PDF. And there we have it. This is what we started with. That document, pure text, and now thumbnail view. Now I think it looks pretty good. This is what you see is what you get, okay? What you see in your PDF is translated straight up to Kindle for paperback. So where we had that letter, which I believe is here, you can see that's exactly what we want it to look like. Now you may say, well, this is over a little bit too far to the left, and I would agree with you. So what I do, actually, I do it in Word, is I put it on two sides, you know, to view both pages together. And when I came to here, I would simply highlight these and just indent them further to line them up a little bit to look more natural. Okay, that's so now I'm looking at it in this is what it will look like. For example, this may be bigger than I want, this being the space between the header and the first line of text. Okay, fine. I make a note of the problems I see. You don't hit this approve button. Unlike the ebook, you have to hit approve to go to the next step. What I would simply do is say, okay, this is a preview, but I have to change various things. And so I would simply go back out, and I would change things insofar as I needed to on the cover. You saw there are some issues on that cover. And I would change things in the manuscript. And at that point, I would simply go back to the source, make those modifications, put it up again, see how it looks. Trial and error, you're not locked in. And the beauty of doing it yourself and knowing how you do the styles and sections and whatnot, knowing how you do the Canva, is that you fine tune it. I've never put a book up and had it be okay the first time. It's always a little thing here or a little thing there. Often cover often is the biggest issue because you're trying to get it so that you don't have a problem, particularly with the image on the front, doing damage to the spine, basically, so that it looks awful if you're looking at it from the spine side. But those are the things you modify, you put it up, you see how it looks, you come back, you redo it, you fix it. You saw that came out really well, I thought. But now you have a book with a relatively few steps. You now have a really good looking paperback. Now, I'm going to end this one now. If you have any questions, feel free to drop me a note. I'm going to probably do something on the table of contents because a lot of people like to use that. That's not an issue, but that's a little tricky. And I may do something on the Canva plugin. I know people use the KDP cover creative. I used it years ago, but I don't use it now. Now I assume it's better than it used to be, but I'm just doing it the way I'm used to doing it. And none of the things I say here, I know people use Vellum to do their formatting. And none of the things here are to the effect that this is the way to do it. This is a way. The difference between a definitive and definite and indefinite word there. This is a way to do it, not the way to do it. This is the way I do it. Since I started doing it, Word has modified and improved its editing functions. And so I hope this is of some help. And that's it for this episode. So thank you. And again, anytime, any questions, feel free to let me know.